There we go. Hello, everybody. And I'm going to wait for the inevitable echo. No, nobody has on another tab. Well,
So proud of us.
Weird. We're on top of it today.
welcome everybody to the Black Authortuber Readathon kickoff. That's right. It's going to be February all month long here on BookTube. Hosting a readathon for the books of Black authortubers. And so I've invited some of them on today to say hello, to introduce you to some of their channels and their books, and have a little discussion. I've got a whole list of interview questions here just waiting for them. And I'm sure that makes some of them delighted and some of them maybe a little, I don't know.
Only nervous because I've been moved into the first position and I'm like, oh no. So you don't want to mix me up a little. That'd be great.
All right, we'll go clockwise. So we'll start with Callie and then go down and left. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Oh boy, thanks, Nia. Thank you.
So I'll give you another.
Yeah, no, I'm great. Go ahead. I'm great.
Just to let everyone know, the readathon is like my little effort and my community to bring the values of Black History Month, which is making content creators visible when, I don't know, something like the algorithm tries to squash them down and hide them from everybody. So this is my little way of like trying to celebrate their works of Black authortubers and maybe get you to hear about books that you haven't heard about, because there's a lot of great stuff. So there's two main things. We have a playlist of past videos that people talked about books on if you want to get some recommendations. And there's a spreadsheet with all of these folks' books and buy links and buddy reads. We are on the eve of February, so if there's still plenty of time to get together with another BookTube friend and read someone's book. So I will ask Callie, there we go, introduce yourself and your channel, what we'll find there, and what kind of books you write.
Hey, everybody. My name is Callie Brown, and I'm a Barbadian author right here in the Caribbean. Some might call it Rihanna land, so that's it. I write mostly historical fiction. I have 3 books out right now, and my books have been featured by Oprah Magazine, Yahoo, In the Know, Medium, the Jamaica Gleaner, Trinidad Express, and a few more. And they also award-winning books, all 3 of them. So I'm really, really proud about that.
Awesome. So I've got links to all these creators' channels down in the description if you are curious. Antoine.
Hey, I am Antoine Bandelay. I am the author of T.J. Young and the Orishas, which is very similar to like a Percy Jackson, Harry Potter type deal. So, like young adult YA. Instead of it being, a young man, dealing with Greek gods, he's dealing with the West African Orishas. And there's a lot you can learn from it too. In the celebration of Black History Month, you can learn a lot about my ancestors, theology and some of their faith systems. And currently, it is in month 17 of 18 in its option. I just got the final screenplay literally 3 days ago. And they have a month to get it sold or the rights revert back to me. But yeah, that is currently like a screenplay, like actually exists. There's like 130 pages of a screenplay for this guy, and it's being pitched to studios next week. So really cool if you're into teen fiction and fantasy elements, and a protagonist who is not the typical hero. He's a little bit of a Hufflepuff. He's an introvert, so he's a cool guy in that way.
I love it. Awesome. That's very exciting. Thank you for being here, Deidre.
Hi, everyone. I'm Deidre Anderson. I write under 2 pen names, actually. So you may find me around the interwebs under Deidre Writes Romance or Sky Winter. I am a Jamaican born, living in Canada, write romance and all subclass of romance, all subgenres of romance. I have short romances, contemporary romances, romantic suspense novels. So if you love love, I'm where you'll be. You'll find love, right? So my latest release was Her Very Fake Fiance under Deidre Anderson. It's on the reading list, and it's basically a fun fake dating situation where it's in the small town and shenanigans occur. So if you like banter, shenanigans, fate dating, then check that out. Also, Sky Winter writes fun, short, steamy romances. So if you're looking for something that you can read in an afternoon or over the weekend, I'm your girl.
Awesome. Yes, and Deidre is also listed in the spreadsheet as a reader, which is, of course, open to all the authors on the panel. If you want to read another Black Authortuber's book, feel free to join in. It's a fun deal. Tiff, your turn. Someone asked, where's your Christmas tree?
I'm not in my living room, so therefore there is no Christmas tree. I'm actually in my bed. But that's a whole nother story in and of itself. Hi everyone, I am Tiffany, TL Russ Lifestyle on all the interwebs. Like Deidre, I write under two pen names, TL Russ and Des Lorraine, with my co-writing partner, Desiree M. Ortega. You've probably seen her around the internet as well. I like to say that we write a little bit of smexy romance with a whole lot of heart. And I also dabble in paranormal. And by dabble, I mean it's my first love. I just have kind of moved away from it a little bit with the contemporary romances, and lately a little bit of action adventure romance, which is my latest release, Getaway Love, which was inspired by the current football celebrity who doesn't play football, Taylor Swift. So do with that what you will. But yeah, I'm excited to be here.
Thank you, Tiff. Yeah, lovely to have you. And as we're going around and ending with Nia, I just wanted to draw your attention to the poll. We have a poll in the live chat of asking about genres, which I'm going to close as soon as we're done with the intros to give us a little something to chew on. So Nia, go right ahead.
All right. I am Nia, the Vixen of Fiction, all over the interwebs. I do write under another pen name, but as Nia and V. James and Vixen of Fiction, I write historical fiction, sci-fi, and fantasy. My sci-fi is space opera comic, and my fantasy is everywhere from very serious to light, fun, cozy fantasy. And I will be debuting in March with cozy fantasy short romances, contemporary. I call them, they're closed door, contemporary, magical, and they're just really sweet and cozy and fun. So something I've been enjoying, and I hope everybody enjoys it too. And I'm a YouTuber, and I'm on Twitch, and I love talking to people about, especially world building. I'm a huge world builder, so that is me. Yay. And I'm a mom of four and a Loki mom and all of that other stuff.
Yes. For more pug content, please follow the Vixen.
Loki is more popular than I am on my YouTube channel. He's
Say
getting
it
like
so. Say it
he's
so.
been like 6K views as of late on his videos. He's adorable.
You're cute too, but Loki's cute. Loki's a star.
He steals the show. That's fine. It's fine.
So we're going to say hello to the chat. Thank you for everyone coming in and hitting the like button. Yes, I didn't put horror on there. They only give you 4 choices in those silly YouTube polls.
Oh,
so
yeah, you're limited.
And I asked you to include what you thought was the right answer in the chat if it wasn't there. So that is obviously RC's answer. Thank you for being here. Fist shaking. Richard is here asking about the Christmas tree. Jocelyn is here. Hello. Cool Gamer, Dark Acer, maybe someone who knows Kelly. No, don't know. We have Beth Ann, very excited. She's signed up. We're very excited to read a Tanana Reef Do together, maybe? I can't remember which one. Or no, maybe you're doing Blood Like Magic with somebody. Beth Ann said romance in the poll because it is February after all. Oh, okay. Well, time dependent. Yeah.
Makes sense.
For a comic. Yeah, that sounds good. Jocelyn says, tell Loki I'm still waiting for my autograph.
I will let him know. You know how he is.
Autograph.
You know, I have a friend who sends Christmas cards, and she does actually take her dog's paw and puts it on like ink stamper and sticks it on the card. So in this, she writes their name above each paw.
Wow. Okay. I have family members that do things like that. So romance won at 45%, but sci-fi fantasy was not far behind with 36% in the poll, and then mystery thriller at 18%. All right. So we know which direction the crowd is heading. That was the important sort of takeaway from this. So let's see if it matches with the folks on the panel. Yes, Bethan is reading Blood Like Magic. Okay, excellent. Jennifer Brown, yay! Welcome. And yes, only 4 choices. So that's what I had. And if you have questions for any of these authors who are new or, longtime friends, feel free to pop questions in the chat. Are you ready?
For sure.
This is called the grilling. So we heard about what you write in the introductions. What do you primarily read? Is it stuff in the genre you write in, or is it vastly different and something that would make us gasp and gawp or laugh?
Well, for me, the funny thing about it is I really tend to love fantasy. I also love YA, so that might sound kind of weird. So I do read YA fantasy, so I'll probably be picking up some of Antoine's books. But I also right now for the past 2 months I feel like I've been reading a lot more romance. I normally don't. I like a lot of literary fiction or women's fiction or historical fiction or like I said YA fantasy, but the past 2 months I've actually been reading romance, so I feel like there is something here for me all around with all of the other authors. So that's really exciting for me.
Awesome. Anyone else?
I read pretty diversely. Hold on, let me look at my last few reads. I would have told you maybe 5 years ago that I was only fantasy sci-fi, but I've been doing more nonfiction as of late. But yeah, it's been kind of all over the place. So yeah, the last one I did was the historical fiction, which I was talking about to you off camera because I'm also an audiobook engineer, so I listen to a lot of books, which is I get to double up my reading, And I did a YA thriller, which was cool. Romantic fantasy, nonfiction, another paranormal romance, memoir, nonfiction, another nonfiction. So it's and of course another.
Yeah.
It's I'm looking through my Goodreads right now. I'm like, okay, let me see what I have gone through. And it's it's pretty diverse.
Very cool. Reading anything hasn't been mentioned.
Oh, is that for Antoine?
No.
Oh, I legitimately read every single genre except for horror.
I was gonna say that too. When you mentioned that, I was gonna say horror is not what I read. Yeah.
I mostly read thrillers, surprisingly, but I love a good romance. So yeah, I love a good romance, but I also love suspense. And if I can find a fantasy that can make me laugh while I'm reading it with a good magic system, then you've got me hooked. So I like all genres. I just can't get into horror. I don't know why. I want to sleep at night. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Bethan has to sign off. Bethan's going to play roller derby. Yeah.
Oh, yes, have fun.
Bye. Have a good one.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw an extra in there. I love a good mystery.
Yes.
I like to try to solve it.
Yeah, for sure.
Everybody else. And if you can combine that with a romance, I'm a sucker for a cozy mystery. Give me all the feels. And I also I'm with Antoine. I love a good autobiography or historical type of life story. I feel like we can learn so much from each other. And so that's one of my favorite things. And I've found myself, it's probably the only thing because I don't really do audiobooks a lot because I feel like I don't retain it, but I feel like, and maybe it's because most of the autobiographies are read by the person. I just get that whole sense of them, and that's maybe the only real book that I can listen to in the audio because I have found myself listening to people read their stories and be like, girl, what?
Tiffany, have you read Will?
Which one?
Will, the Will Smith one.
I have not. I've
heard the best audiobook ever.
I've heard some stuff that's about this.
Well, it'll make sense of what happened during the Academy Awards. If you get through the whole thing,
that's what I've also heard.
Yeah,
right. Okay.
Oh,
but it's very good.
Fun fact, real quickly before I've actually read Vanishing Girls from Cali. I did not know you were an author too, but I read it when I was back in Jamaica.
Oh my gosh!
I didn't even know. But hey, hi.
He's like
I'm not
Loki.
fangirling or
Hi.
anything, but I did like your book. I rated it 4
Thank
stars. It was a
you.
very good book.
Yay.
And so yeah, just wanted to pop in. Not fangirling or anything, you know. I'm just here. You can't see
But
me, so that helps.
no, look, she's Caribbean. It's all good. It's all good. She's Jamaican. It's all good.
Awesome.
Oh god, that is so cool though. I would say I read all genres except for horror. Again, I do love a good mystery, and when I do read a documentary, it's because of what just happened here. People talk about it, and I'm like, now I'm curious. I have to know all the things.
Word of
Bring
mouth.
me, Spare. I'm like, that's the reason why I read those. I'm glad my mom died. People start talking about it, and I'm like, I'm curious now. I need to hear it for myself. But yeah, my main genres that I pick up anytime is fantasy, sci-fi. I'm a huge fan of like the murder bots because they're short, quick reads, and they're a lot of fun. He's just adorable. I know he's a murder bot, but that's okay. So yeah, I'm all over the place with what I can read.
Awesome. I will say that Nia is our special case for the next question. So Nia is debuting, and do you have a date in March?
I don't have a date solidified yet.
So we're like, she's wearing the little crown in the school pageant today is what I'm thinking of. Because like I have some questions that are about publishing, and we're gonna ask her what like future Nia or secret Nia, the other pen name. I might think about the questions. But I think most of you guys have had your YouTube channel before you published books. Is that correct? I think did I do the research correctly? And was there a strategy behind doing one for the other, or is that just how it came about? Why don't we start with Nia?
I didn't, but okay.
Oh, there you go.
Whoever.
Yeah,
that's right.
Oh, yeah. Deidre didn't have a YouTube channel first.
No, my books came first. But you can go, Nia. You can go.
I'm a little bit of a funny situation because I had my YouTube channel quite a 2016, I think, and I was putting out my stories on YouTube, and I ended up getting monetized that way. But then when I decided that, oh, maybe I could actually publish these, I took them all down because I didn't want people to know that I wrote them because they weren't edited or anything. They were good enough for YouTube use, but I was like, I don't think it's good enough for me to tell people, hey, I wrote this. So I ended up taking them down, and I changed my channel from that to AuthorTube. And it was tricky when you change because the people that are there, they're like, where are the stories at? And I'm like, the stories are coming. I'm actually becoming a better writer. And about 1,200 of them stuck around and stayed subscribed to the channel while I talk about author and writer and book things. And it was slow going to keep growing the channel, but after about a year, it started picking up again. So
I wonder if that's similar to how Desiree, co-writer for Tiffany, she had a channel that was like past that point at some point, and then she went away, and then she's coming back as the writer and author-tuber. And so it's just like, it's so weird how like these one piece of our personality has to evolve with us, and then the YouTube algorithm is like, wait, who are you again?
But I do other things besides just that. Hi.
Right.
Well, I'm gonna second Nia because I too started not doing writing. I started doing planner stuff. Like, you know, I was one of the planner girls with the hands. Hi, friends. And like doing like planner spreads, and I actually hosted a online movie. Yeah, there's my writing partner. I hosted an online movie club on mine, and that's how my channel grew before it was taken down. And then
that's a fist shaker for sure.
Yeah. And then I kind of moved away from actually doing any content. And then when I came back, again, it was more the AuthorTube and writing sprints and, you know, all of that content related. So, and I didn't lose people, but also I'm not really positive those people watched because I wasn't like for what the numbers that I had. I don't think I had the watch hours when I started doing more author stuff than I did when I was doing the planner stuff. So.
Same.
That's hard to gauge sometimes. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah. Okay, Deidre,
Okay.
tell us about this
So
USA.
I'm the first one that's a little bit different because I published first in 2019. And I started my YouTube channel in 2021. I believe I was not like YouTube for me wasn't even about really books. I just wanted to share my experience because I had no writer friends in my life. And I was like, maybe if I got online, spoke about writing, spoke about stuff I was going through. I think my very first video was about imposter syndrome. And that's how I started. However, I quickly learned because in Jamaica, you can hear, it's not like here, if a pin drops outside, you hear it. So in all those videos, they're still on my channel, you can go and find it. You'll hear sirens in the background, you'll hear dogs barking, you'll hear the neighbors next door screaming. But hey, I did it. It was this haphazard setup. I had a green curtain behind me. I tried doing virtual backgrounds, didn't work for me. So I was like, hey, this is where I am. This is what you're gonna see. And I would apologize, but the sound effects worked in my favor. People still watch the videos. So
Nice.
but that's how I ended up on YouTube.
Nice.
Well, you're putting the U in YouTube. That's what it is. So you're supposed to have the sirens in the background so we can know you're authentic.
There you go.
Well, I did stop eventually. It got very hard to edit out, and I was like, you know what? Let me just stop until I get somewhere where I can record without all these. So yeah, I did stop, and then I came back. I want to say, was it like a year or so ago now? I don't remember, but I'm back.
Nice. I'm actually in that camp too. My first book came out in 2013, and I think I had like a video, but not like a channel in 2013. I didn't have that until 2020 because I was like, a video? I can't do video until now. Here I am today, welcoming all you lovely people. Yes, reminder to enter questions in for our authors on the panel today. Oh, and we're doing giveaways. So we've got 4 giveaways to do. So pop those questions in, get those entries in. Channel, books, Antoine.
Oh, definitely YouTube first. I am a YouTube OG. Had my account since 2006 in high school. And but the thing about it is that it is not. I mean, I've tried. I thought there would be some overlap, but there's like no overlap between what I did on my YouTube channel and like my author stuff. Like I have 300,000 subscribers, but it's all because they're into like Star Wars and the Avatar: The Last Airbender, but they don't want to hear about like my book. I mean, some do. Like, there's definitely like I'll say like 8% and like 1% like carries over, has overlap. But yeah, mine's like completely unrelated to like author. I mean, it did for a minute. Like I did have goals on there. I would do like some writing sprints on there, but like it would actually hurt my channel because like, you have to talk about the algorithm, right? When you do like multiple things on one channel, like, well, we don't know who to serve to, like, you know, with the algorithm. And so I was like, okay, let me like move my stuff off of this channel and put it on another channel, which I do have another channel, which is for my audiobooks. I put my audiobooks out. Usually my first book's free on there.
Awesome. Awesome. We have a trickster question over here. Yeah. That counts. All right. So what about an ideal reader? So oftentimes, if there are readers watching who are participating in the readathon, when you're writing a book, sometimes you imagine an ideal reader because you're trying to imagine what reaction you would want in the reader with an emotional arc, for example. Or when you're in the marketing phase, you're imagining, okay, who is this book for, and how do I get it in front of their eyeballs, right?
Wait, Margaret, did we skipped? Oh, is Callie not on YouTube? Because we skipped Callie.
I thought she was.
No, I'm here. No, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
No, I mean, like, are you on YouTube? I think is the question.
Yeah,
right?
I am on YouTube.
Yeah.
I have a couple of videos. Yeah, no, that's okay. That's okay.
Looking out for
I was
you.
actually gonna start. Thank you, darling. I love you. I was actually gonna just circle back to that when you came back to me. But on my YouTube, you basically have like a free audiobook because I did an audiobook for my last book, The Secrets of Casperado Village. So I have like an audiobook teaser, like a story there, for like a free audiobook story there. I have like a couple of trailers for my other books. So that's what's mostly on my YouTube. I really do want to look into doing more content for it this year, like some write with me, some all kinds of random stuff I have ideas about, but I'll see what feels the best when I'm filming and do them. But thanks so much.
Sorry. I'm trying to like do about 5 things at once in my brain, so like I'm missing the order. So thank you for
We got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so YouTube channel generally coming before. Interesting. Okay. Ideal reader. Do you think about an ideal reader before, during, after, ever?
I'm not the best planner, to be honest with you. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to write until it's pretty much halfway done in terms of genre and that type of thing. Yeah, I'm a little messy. So I only started to think about that after I finished it, which
Okay.
really is the wrong way. But somehow it's worked out okay so far. But yeah, I like to think, I think for sure people who enjoy well-rounded characters like, oh, thank you, Jeffy. I think for sure people who like well-rounded characters tend to like my books. People who like, because I'm more of a character-driven author for sure. So I find people will read across the different genres that I write, even though, you know, they may start off one way. Like a lot of my historical fiction readers, so many of them come back to me and say, I hated historical fiction until I read your books. Yeah, but because they're very character driven, I think that's what takes a lot of people to them. So people who like character driven books will tend to like my books.
Nice. Nice.
Okay, so
All
I
right.
just had this experience. So as you mentioned before, off camera, I just did a Comic-Con. I did Pasadena Comic-Con, and I literally had the ideal reader experience physically. Because usually, you know, most of us, I think, are online, right? But when you get to do live events, it's totally different. Being able to speak to one of your readers. So someone came to my table, like asking me a question about one of my books. He said in the first book, he's like, "Wait a minute. So I've having a question for you. Like, was this character or this creature supposed to be like, you know, the same character from this book?" Because I do cross fantasy stuff.
Yeah.
And usually I have to like explain my story because usually people don't know who I am at the table. So I'm still like in that mindset of being like, oh no, those are two separate things. Like that's a different fantasy. That's like my grown-up fantasy. And this is my young adult. He's like, no, you named a character in there. And I was like, oh my God, I totally did. Like I wrote that for a reader like you who's very astute and would understand the Easter egg. And I'm over here just like explaining. He's like, no, I know what I'm talking about. And I'm trying to geek out with you. And so we spent like the next like several minutes geeking out to only come to realize that his girlfriend was the one who was right next to him the entire time and just let us like go crazy. She's like, actually, I'm the one who put him on. So I want to get my credit over here. And I was like, okay.
Oh my God.
But she said she found me through another YouTuber, not an author YouTuber, but she does a lot of the Orisha like faith system. Like she talks about that, and she featured my book. Her name is Black Witch Yaya. If, you know, I'm gonna shout her out.
Nice.
And so she found me through that, and then I was like, oh yeah. So the way that we talked for like those 30 minutes, like I actually got to talk deeply about my story, which is a lot more fun than like surface level. Like, oh, it's like Harry Potter, Percy Jackson. Like we actually talked about like the different Orishas and what they represented, why I did certain things with the plot, and like, yeah. So anyone like that couple that came to my table is like my ideal reader who's like looking for those Easter eggs. And like, because when you write certain things, sometimes you're like, oh, hopefully someone will get this, you know, and you don't know if like anyone's actually gonna like, but when they do, it's like, oh my God, I feel like I'm a functional author, you know. Like,
that's another one of my questions. Do you have Easter eggs in your books?
Oh,
and
totally.
So yeah, that's really cool. You know, the introduction for me to Orishas and the system was for
Children of Blood and Bone, probably.
No, actually,
Ooh.
The Black God's Drums, P.J. Clark.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, love that book.
Yeah,
that book is recommended.
There you go. That's a good comp author for you.
Yeah. Oh no, for sure. I actually am friends with him. I mean, like Facebook friends, not like just like
that's
personal
so cool.
friends.
Yeah.
But a lot of my the Black author community is actually very close knit. Like the gentleman who wrote Kwame Mbalia, who did the Tristan Strong Punches a Hole Through the Sky. Friends with him. The guy who just did the is about to come out with I think it's called not Bloodroot. Oh my God, I can't remember. It's a new book that's coming out. He just added me, you know, stuff like that. So it's like it's definitely like a nice community within the fantasy Black authors.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. What about other ideal reader experiences? Whether you think about them beforehand or whether you've had them in person, like Lucky Antoine.
But this only happened literally like days ago. So
Right.
I did not have the story like if we had this meeting like a week ago.
This one right here is my ideal reader.
Ah,
Antoine's experience is my experience with Deidre every time I talk to her. Like to the point, I think I told her I was writing a spinoff story of something, and I was like, "And one of your favorite characters is going to be in there," and she was like, "Oh my God, is it going to be Jeremy?" And I was like, I'm racking my brain, and I'm going, "Who's Jeremy? I don't think I had a Jeremy. Did I write a Jeremy? Who's Jeremy?" And I come back and ask, she was like, "Oh, Jeremy is this person who did this and who did." I completely forgot the character. Like,
Nice.
so she would be my ideal reader because like she just embodies everything that I think of. People who, enjoy characters, who want to like dive into the story and stay with them. Like she keeps me on track. If I don't have somebody in the book and I haven't mentioned them in a while, she's like, "What's happening with Carmen? Where did Carmen go? Like, how is her life happening? Why haven't I seen her in a while?" And so that's kind of my person that when I think about them, that's the person that I really want.
Oh, you see, that makes me feel so great. As a reader, I'm so organized. As an author, I'm hot mess. So, my ideal read, I don't go into the book having an ideal reader in mind, but while I'm writing it, because I'm a pantser. So while I'm writing
Right, yeah.
then I'll start saying, "Oh, this would be good, or this would be good, or this person would like this." So, like for the last book, I was telling you, if you love fake dating or if you like the shenanigans, I know that now because the book is written. But while the book is being written, I have no clue.
Right.
Same.
Right.
Nia,
I forgot. I'm a world builder, and I still don't know who my audience is until it's done, because kind of the same. I'm like, I know what I like, and so I'm mostly writing what I think I would enjoy. So I'm looking for that reader who's just open to, whatever it is that I'm working on. I'm a genre hopper when I read, but I'm also a genre hopper when I write. So like right now, what I'm writing is more cozy and fun, and I know a lot of times with fantasy, we're used to like that. It's fantasy, but serious, and there's wars going on, and and so if it's more light and fun, and just like you've got some meddling people trying to like sprinkle magic on people to have a little mischief, and like just right now I'm just in a mood where I want to have fun, so that's what I'm writing. But then when I write the more serious work, where there are wars and battles, and the world is being ripped apart, I want to find a reader that will enjoy that too. So fingers crossed, because debuting again. I hope to have some of these fun experiences that these guys down here are having, though.
Yes. Okay, so it's halfway through, so I'm gonna bring up the famous giveaway screen. And who wants to pitch? Well, should I do the giveaway first or pick the person first? I did not plan this part. I planned very well everything else, and then I had this idea at the end, and all my guests were so lovely as to agree to do a giveaway copy of an ebook. And so here we
how
are.
about we go in order? Like Kelly is right underneath you, so you can start with Kelly.
Callie,
and
Yeah,
then,
for
and
sure.
then Antoine.
pitch us your book. Girl with the hazel eyes. Here we go.
Oh my gosh. Come there, poor Kathy. Kathy has a copy already.
Okay.
Yay.
Should we go to the next person for the book? for
Sure,
that
she can
one?
get Antoine's book.
There you go. Yeah, Kevin, you can get either ebook or audio through me. So yes, if you have fancy for either one, got you.
Right.
Yeah, Kathy, I got you
Nice.
covered, sis. Don't worry.
Congrats, Kathy.
I've written it down, so we will not lose this to like, I don't know, the depths of YouTube, wherever StreamYard, wherever these go. Okay. So the next question was about an industry trend. What is an industry trend in your genre that you love, and what's one that you hate? like cover styles or title conventions or the type of main character that people want, or like the cliffhanger ending or the second person POV, like something in your genre that was like the thing or thing that you love. So when you love and when you hate. And
one thing I love, and I feel like Caribbean covers have a reputation for not being really good looking. I feel like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Desiree could, she could. Sorry, Deidre could. Because I saw Desiree down with the comment. Sorry, Deidre could say, if she agrees or not. But sometimes I feel like they do get that reputation for not being very good looking. I do try to go against that. I always love to have covers they look fresher, they look more mainstream. That's me personally. But sometimes a lot of people complain that publishers purposely give Caribbean books ugly covers.
really?
Yes. Yeah, that's one thing I found a lot of people complain about.
I think your covers are lovely. Do you
Thank
make them,
you.
or is it somebody else?
I got a designer. I have a designer, but I mean, my briefs are notoriously long. I'm very specific. I'm like, I like this kind of element. I like this kind of color. So it takes a while. I mean, like I have 3-page briefs when I write stuff for my designers, right? But one convention that I love is, I feel like the great thing about literary fiction / women's fiction, or even Caribbean fiction, because I almost feel like it's its own subgenre. I feel like it's growing. It's no longer as staid as it used to be. I feel like it's more flexible. I feel like it's growing, it's changing, it's evolving. It's not as rigid as it used to be. So I love that. I feel like we're seeing more subgenres popping up, and everything else. Caribbean fiction has really turned out, you know what I mean? Especially because of self-publishing. You're seeing so many fresh, different looks at our culture and our histories and our past forward and our imaginings. I really, really, really love it. I'm so proud of us.
And the special month for especially Caribbean authors and Caribbean reads, it's June on YouTube. So I encourage everyone to read Caribbean books in June. It's awesome. There's a readathon, and is it comfy cozy?
Comfy Cozy Up. She does
Cozy Up.
Readathon. Yeah. Comfy Cozy Up. Yeah, that's my girl. That's my girl Petta.
She's great.
Then Cindy, which is Book of Sins, she does Read Caribbean. So they happen concurrently. Yeah, they happen concurrently. And they're both, I do both. It doesn't matter to me. It's all about Caribbean books. I'm here for all of them. So it doesn't matter to me. I do both.
So we've heard from someone who does audiobooks for authors, and we were just talking about covers. So I know someone who does covers for authors, and multiple different author services on this AuthorDo panel, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's the thing you gotta do. You gotta be multifaceted in sub-pub.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very good.
Are we going in order or
industry trend? Whoever's next. I can't say raise your hand. So.
Do you want to go, Antoine, or
I don't really have strong opinions
up?
on this one. So yeah, I think I'll pass on this one because I don't really have anything
to
add to the conversation. I think.
Okay, well, I do concur with Callie that in the Caribbean the covers are not the greatest. Wow. I think because maybe they aim for scholarly books, like they're aim for educational mostly. So the covers are more like just something slapped on to get into the stores. And it's not so. But I design covers, and I fall guilty to this trend that I absolutely hate. And it may be an uncommon or an unpopular opinion, but I hate a cover with a man chest. And almost everyone have a man chest.
Same.
But she's about to go grab a Manchester right now. That's what's gonna happen.
I do them, and I design covers, and I will sit and look at Manchester every single day, and I'm like, oh, but I start doing workarounds. So like I start doing, sometimes you'll see a Manchester on like the first 2 books, and then the rest of them, I go.
Less
But
Manchester as we go along
yes,
in the
It's
I'm
her
series.
loving
own
the
book. It's
see
her
the
own
Manchester.
book.
Uh-oh.
And I designed that cover, and I thought about it.
Beautiful.
I really thought about it, and it hurt my soul to put the Manchester on it. But I'm like, that was the first book for that pen name, and I was like, let's just do it, get it over with. But then you see, as the series went on, there are gorgeous women on the cover. There are other things on the cover. I mean, I love discreet covers. I'm probably going to move more into discreet covers. But we'll see that soon. I'm doing announcements that have not been told to the public yet. But hey, just pretend you didn't hear that. But yes, that's a trend I hate. What I love is, and this is also uncommon because a lot of people don't like tropes, but I love a good trope. Give me the trope-yes, the cliche-yes, the something I can predict, romance, thriller. I want to know the mystery before I get there. I go out of my way to solve the mysteries before the end. So I want a predictable, not super predictable, but if I get an inkling that something's going to happen and then it happened, I feel satisfied. So I love that.
Nice. Thank you.
Well, I do have to echo the Manchester, even though as with Deidre, they are on my cover as well. But I just never thought I would get to a point in my life where I was just like, I'm just so sick of looking at half naked men. But here we are. I think the thing though that I really more so bothers me because I do more right now short romantic fiction. And I think the thing that really bothers me, I love a good age gap, but the dads and the uncles and the stepdads and it's a lot. And I feel like it's just kind of giving a little bit of a wrong connotation of relationships or age gap relationships. And I have family who are in age gap relationships, but it just it becomes a lot when I've read some of them, and when it's like your best friend's dad, that you're all in the same house and we're doing all kinds of stuff, it's just weird. It's just weird. And I just can't be there with that. So that's probably the trend that gets on my nerves the most.
And just to be clear, you're not saying like dads or uncles as like
no, it's
in love. You're like someone very close.
It's
to that
more like, I did read a in love with my ex stepfather story that I think I saw the title.
It's not her stepfather, it's like the ex's stepfather.
Type of thing, but not like in the sense of like incest. No. But more like just everybody's best friend's dad's.
Oh, I've read them too. Mm-hmm.
Somebody's whoever. I can't. But I think one of the things that I do kind of like is more oh, I have to go. Hold on, I'll be back.
Cliffhanger.
Oh, that is a cliffhanger. I will say I don't really I'm going to pass on what I don't like, because I tend to, if it seems like something I'm not going to like, because I'm like I just don't even read it. But I do enjoy good tropes. I have favorite tropes, whether it be sci-fi or fantasy or romance. I have tropes that I enjoy, and so I love reading those. And I'm a huge fan of illustrated covers. I love illustrated covers.
Oh, yeah, not too long ago, you were asking about, I think it was a backstage, you were asking about how to do this. Do you like this? Do you like that? And we were watching you change things on cover. Do you like one? Do you like two? 1, 2. Yes. It was like an optician appointment. It was great.
Something I love about AuthorTube in general is getting to know other authors and being able to have backstages with them and talk about these types of things. And we do talk about all of these things that we've been discussing today. So that just the community has been amazing. So that is definitely a pro, something I like.
Nice. Okay, so I'm going to start putting people's channel links in the chat. Did anyone miss industry trend who wanted to finish. I don't know if
Oh, what
Kelly.
did you love, Tiffany? You were going to say what you loved, and then you left.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was
I left
summoned.
us hanging.
I was summoned by others. No, I was just gonna say that I really enjoy and I don't know if it's necessarily a trend, but the Insta Love like short romance community, they have been really welcoming and just trying to help uplift pretty much everybody that's involved, willing to give any type of inspiration, any type of help that they can give. And I think that that's just a really positive thing to see in any industry, where people just are there to kind of raise the standard and each other at the same time.
Lovely. Okay, so that was a round of questions, so we're gonna do another giveaway. So Antoine is below me now, but he's already done the book. So Deidre?
Sure.
Yeah, no, you could pick me. I mean, I was supposed to do one, so yeah.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Yeah, we
It's
missed
just that
Callie.
person already had all the books.
Yeah.
Kathy already has. Yeah,
Okay,
she has
so we'll come
all.
back to Callie, and we'll hit draw again. Do. And Don Lee on YouTube.
Okay. Sorry, let me speak up again. She also has all three.
Oh my goodness! Did you just invite your entire readership?
We brought people. We brought people.
Oh my
All right,
gosh! Oh jeez!
Well,
This
So-
is
Dawn,
so
who should we
cookie.
go to?
Well,
Listen,
Dawn,
I
if you are a
said my
romance
readers
reader,
are good people. My readers
is
are good
Dawn a
people.
romance reader?
Dawn likes romance and
Stevie
mystery.
romance reader?
Romance and mystery.
I don't think so.
No? Okay.
I don't think so. Let me see. She loves mysteries. She loves James Patterson. So let me see who else.
Tiff. That sounds
It
like
sounds
a
like a
Tiff.
tiff. Okay. Well, hook my girl up with something good. Hook my girl up with something good.
All
I
right.
love Morgan's like, part of my name is Lee. Can you give it to me?
All right. So I put Tiffany ebook.
Oh.
Okay. Excellent. And I'm glad to hear your voice, Kelly, because we lost your avatar for some reason and it like moved you on the screen. And I was like, what's going on?
Oh,
I'm glad
okay.
you're
I
here.
didn't know that. I don't know why.
Yeah. Sneaky. Sneaky Morgan. Des is laughing. Jocelyn is trying to elbow in on it. Don't forget to subscribe to Kelly's channel. Yes. Yay, done. Yay. Okay. And another question round. Let's see. Ooh, here's one of my I don't know. This is like a weird Margaret question. What's an author artifact that you have? So something that you save from each book process, or just like the whole writing process in general from when you first started. Like, what's an artifact that you keep?
Like a physical
Yeah.
thing?
For me, it's well, yes,
Yeah.
digital thing, yes, but like something that
Mm,
reminds you of your roots and how you started out on this author journey.
I still have the very first printout I did of the girl with the hazel eyes. I still have that. I don't know why. I mean, it's full of notes and edits, and it's nothing like the final version. I still have that. I had a rock painted with my book cover, so I have that as well. Yeah, it's like a custom rock. Yeah.
Nice.
So this lady, she's actually from the US, and she comes here to Barbados, and she plants rocks around the country. She paints them like different, like for example, she might paint monkeys on them and leave it in a place where monkeys tend to congregate here, or she might paint black belly sheep and leave them someplace like that. So I asked her to paint a custom rock for me. So I have those
Oh,
artifacts
cool.
in my books: a rock and some paper. I just need
Nice.
scissors.
Yeah, I mean that's perfect because what I was seeing recently in someone's social media was all the rejections, but every rejection from a small press or whatever was a gold star because she had sent it out, and I was like, yes, I love that gold star every time you try, and that was really loved it. Or like receipts from things. How about anyone else? Author artifact.
I am gonna go out on a limb and I'm gonna throw out my scarf.
Okay.
This is my scarf that I knitted last year for what was it? Nano. So each color represents how many words I did or didn't get done in a day.
Oh, that's so
That's
cool.
really cool.
So yeah, that's the only thing I could really think of. I was like, I don't know if I really have anything, but I did do this, and I was very proud of myself when I got
I
done.
love
So
that though.
It's like
I
Madame
love
Defarge
that.
of
Yeah.
the NaNoWriMo. I love it. That's so cool.
So yeah, that's, and what's funny is that I now don't remember which side started it. I was sitting here looking, I'm like, where's which one was the beginning? They're both green. I don't know.
So what we'll do in November is that you'll stitch a 1 into the first day. So you'll
Yeah, maybe that would
Yeah.
be a good idea. I did think about but I just couldn't make the commitment. There is, like, people do temperature blankets every year. Like, some people do temperature blankets, which is like you crochet or you knit one
I
row for
love
whatever the
those.
temperature
The different
is
colors.
for
Yeah.
that day. And I thought about doing that for my writing. I just was like, I don't know if I'm going to really do that for 365 days.
Do like a gradient each day, like
Yeah.
a little bit different. Oh,
Yeah.
that's a really
And
cool
so I
idea.
did think about doing that, but I have not done that. But I did enjoy my scarf. So
That's awesome. That's frameable. Like, yeah, that's really cool.
Well-
One thing that I have from the 4 novels that I have finished is I print them out, and I print them out in really tiny print. They're not for editing. It's just so I could have my hands on it. And then for 4 of them, I actually have them registered in the Library of Congress, and you get this little paperback that says that it's officially you wrote
Nice.
it. So even though I didn't publish it because it needs a lot of editing, I wrote the thing, and it's official. I officially wrote the thing. So.
Excuse me.
very cool.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that till now, but yeah, every time I pull them out, because we keep them with important papers, and my husband will like, "You wrote that?" I'm like, "I sure did." Yes, he's very proud.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
For me, I am a little bit different. The first time when I decided that I was going to write a book for myself, because I've always been writing for other people. I don't know if anyone knows how I started writing, but I did ghostwriting for years. And I went into a bookstore and I saw a bunch of books that I wrote that were on bookshelves, and they weren't my name on it. And I started getting, the best word for it is FOMO. And I was like, I wrote all of this and I'm not getting anything. And it was just painful to me because I was seeing book after book after book after book. I'm like, wait, I did that. So I went home and I sat with it, and I opened this notebook. I still have the little notebook. There's nothing else in it except for I will write a book. I will write a book. And
my
I
little
still have
heart.
it. And that same day, I drove to pick up my husband because we were living in Canada at that time too. But before, in 2019, I picked my husband up and I said to my husband, I'm going to write a book. My husband looked at me, looked back, and like, sure. I'm like, I'm going to write a book for myself. It's like, what are you going to write? Romance. And then oh, okay. Because I read mostly thrillers. So he looked at me and he just kept going like, yeah, I believe you. Sure. And I did. And that little book, I still have it. I've thrown away a lot of books. It's not even a pretty book. It's just a notebook. But that's the only thing written in it. It's in the box outside. And I've kept it with me, and it'll probably still stay with me because I did write that book. So
Yeah, that's amazing. A good story. Story time. Does Antoine have a story time?
Yeah. Well, she reminded me because when she talked about the book part, so I was like, oh yeah, that's my artifact. Because I was waiting this whole time. I was like, I'm gonna wait for everybody to talk because they're gonna jog something in my memory. And I was like, oh, it was the last person who spoke it.
There you go.
So similar. So I was telling people for like a year before I was writing a book, because I knew I specifically wanted to write African fantasy. And so I spent an entire year just doing research. So I did first like just general African studies, like, Africa in the context of like world history. Then I like got, digging in deeper. And then one of the things that my aunt got me when she heard about this was the annotated African American folktales, which I think most people are like familiar with. It's like a pretty famous like collection of African American folktales, things like that. And she doesn't usually. I haven't even seen my aunt in since 2017, and I hadn't spoken to her for a long time. But for her to like just come out the woodwork and be like, "Oh, I believe in you," because she's known me since I was a kid. Like, that was always creative stuff like that. So yes, for her to like give me this out of the blue, I just remember I had a package. And I was like, "Who is this from?" Like seeing her name, I was like, "What?" And like called her and stuff like that. We had a whole hour-long conversation. So yeah, that would be mine right here. This guy.
Sounds like synchronicity. Like the universe found you at the right moment with the right person. Like, so good. That's good. All right. I think did we cover everyone in that round? Are we ready for another giveaway?
I believe so.
Yeah, for me.
Okay, I guess we're doing the giveaway first and then figuring out who's still doing it.
Yeah. I'm up again. Probably the third time's going to be the charm. Let's go.
Jocelyn.
I know. Please let it be Jocelyn.
I sorry. Pastor.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Yay, Jocelyn.
Manifest.
Callie, is that okay for
sure?
Callie?
For sure. Yeah.
We finally got one.
Yes. Yay. Yay me.
See, that's what happens. You manifest what you need,
I love that my name was in the giveaway. We can keep it there. I love a free book.
Teacher's like, I read. Come on.
I mean, you're not wrong. I thought about it too. I was like, I want some books.
Sweet. All right. So one
thank you.
go. And way to go. Congratulations. Yay. Congrats. I think I have one more question, which is another like YouTube question. Since we are all on YouTube, but because life and the world is the way it is, we also have to be on other platforms. Do you think YouTube is more or less good than other social media platforms in terms of finding an audience or feeling visible to your audience?
Oh, I feel like TikTok takes the cake on that one. Like currently, that's where everybody wants me to be. I don't want to be on TikTok. I don't want to make little shorts and things. It's funny, actually. There was a meme that was on Facebook recently, and it was something about like, oh, let me find her. Literally, someone tell their story because I'm gonna. It's gonna take me a little minute to like find.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. For me, I'm not on YouTube to find a reader audience. It's weird, but for me, YouTube has always been about finding a community, like a writer community. And so I know that the people that watch my channel are probably also writers, and sure, they support my journey, but I wouldn't say that I'm not marketing to them to sell them my books because I'm there for the community. Now, the TikToks and the Instagram and the Facebooks and all the social and the threads and I'm not on. I'm on X, but I don't use it. I can't even believe I just said X.
Twitter.
But that might be the first time I've ever called that X.
I didn't know that. I didn't
adult
check your handle. Okay.
So,
but
for me, YouTube. So for me, yeah, TikTok has sold books for me. Unfortunately, Antoine. So
I know. I have
I'm
to
not
be there.
very
I know.
consistent on TikTok, but when I do, like, I get these little bursts with social media. When I do get consistent on TikTok, I can see that my sales increase. But YouTube is just for me for fun. Like the people I've met on YouTube, I consider my friends, and this is just for me for fun. It's like this is what is happening. This is my journey. This is how I do this, and it's more author related than say reader related for me.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I may look at it a little like I agree with Deidre as far as YouTube, like it's community building. But I actually don't look at any social media as that's where I find my audience. I more look at it as like that's where I do my research because like I feel like that's where you can find out like what are the trends, what are people reading, like what do they like, what tropes are making them happy, like all the different things. And then I look to like the community that I've built to like, how can I grow my newsletter? How can I grow my Facebook group? How can I grow this? Because I feel like if anybody's going to be the reader, that's where my readers are going to be. And it's it just feels overwhelming to try to go into every single social media platform to try to find like 7 folks who are going to like your book. Because there's just so many, and there's so many people out there, and the negativity sometimes I feel like overwhelms the positivity of what we're trying to put out there or what we're trying to share. And so I more look at it that way. Not that I don't use the platforms like Twitter and TikTok and all of those to try to get my books out there and, you know, build some type of audience there. But I'm like, if I get somebody, yay! If not, tell me all your stuff and I'll incorporate it somewhere else.
Yeah, that's great.
I have found the meme.
Okay. Can you share? You can share a screen, right?
The meme. Oh, I was just gonna read it off. I was gonna read because.
Oh, okay. If it's a visual one, you can share it. But if not,
it's visual. It's text based mostly. So it goes, author. Can I write novels for a living? Publishing. Well, that really depends on one thing and one thing only. Author. Whether I'm willing to give everything to the form. Publisher. No. How good are you at creating and starring in 10-second video comedy sketches on the internet? Author. What?
so true.
And it's true.
Where's the lie? Yeah.
Where is the
lie? How far we've come, right? Yeah. YouTube visibility. Anyone else?
I would say it's kind of a mixed bag for me. I would say right now, what I'm doing on YouTube is not to get readers. However, if some of the hangers-on from before happen to like and want to read what I'm putting out when they come back out in a new and improved form, then that would be great. But I'm not banking on that. I think maybe some of them just hung around because they're like, oh, she's nice, I won't unsubscribe type of thing. I don't know why they stuck around. But I think it is Loki. They really like the Loki videos. I'm not kidding. I don't.
Oh man,
they love the Loki videos. So they're like, you're putting out something we still like, so we're gonna let you know we like him. But yeah, and having a variety channel is also part of that. It's like I'm on here whenever I do any social media. If I don't enjoy doing it, I'm not gonna do it because everything else takes away from. I do art, I do writing. And everything else is taking time away from that. So if I can't enjoy doing it, I'm not going to do it. So I'm not on. I have a Twitter, but I'm not on there. I'm not on the X. But I have one.
The X.
I have one, and it racked up a lot of, quite a few followers on there. But I don't do anything with that. But I enjoy Instagram, and I kind of like TikTok only because I recycle my YouTube shorts over there. So if people like that, more power, but I'm not putting a lot of effort into, or Vixen Fiction, I would say. My codename Penny, that's a whole other story. Codename Penny is what we call my pen name. That one I am working the social media aspect, and it is having surprisingly some payoff, especially TikTok. But it's a little bit harder because I'm doing it without showing my face because it is,
secret, anonymous. Yeah. Well, it's interesting, and unfortunately, Shannon just went to bed. So the point I was making about her question. So I don't know, months and months ago, we were both brainstorming. She was kind of coming to the realization that all the work she was doing marketing on YouTube to try to get to a reader population was kind of misplaced because she was like connecting with authors, and like, yes, that's a good reason on its own to have author community on YouTube, but like. If you're doing social media to get your books out to readers, like then that's not accomplishing that goal. So it's just interesting that you guys are basically backing that up and saying, "Oh yeah."
It used to though. Like 5 years ago, I remember like Daniel Green and Murphy Napier were like super big, and then they've both like kind of switched off to like general pop culture, or anime type stuff. Yeah.
Well, I started out watching them too. I still watch them on occasion. But
there are YouTubers.
But it's just a different niche.
They've separated themselves from there's like BookTube is BookTube, AuthorTube is AuthorTube, and the BookTubers now, because there's this sketchy thing with reviews now, and they wanna just keep their reviews and their opinions about books separate from the author community, so they've just separated themselves. So BookTube is BookTube, AuthorTube is AuthorTube, If you want to hear about books, you run to BookTube, and Margaret is the in-betweener that we
That's always gonna be wrong. Don't make me choose. That does not have anything to do with why I choose. That is not related. Not
No.
related.
Yeah, and I float a little bit in between too. I do scripting the book. I still love reading books and talking about books. So I, again, variety channel. I don't know how much that's helping me with the algorithm, but it's what I like to do. So if people come in and they see that, oh, she likes talking about books that have been adapted into movies, and I've got a couple of friends that talk about those with me. If people like them, and you can tell the really popular shows and that were adapted get big views, and then we do little tiny books and it might get like 50 or 60 views, and that's fine. We're doing it because we like it. And that's just how I roll with my YouTube channel.
Right. Sounds good. Callie's, I think everyone's had
Yeah.
anything
Okay.
else? Okay. All right. So the last question I had was sort of for the audience, but we've got a couple audience questions as well. So I'm going to roll this and just ask for people to weigh in how they plan to diversify their reading list, because especially in February, we're turning those like awareness buttons on and making sure we're poking people that they're aware of their reading habits, because, you know, the publishing industry and media in general tries to push you to read the same old BS. So this is like, I don't know. This is me flipping off the industry and saying, let's choose what we're reading and search out small, unique projects instead of being told what to do, because I don't like being told what to do. So give us an answer to the question in the chat. And meanwhile, Shannon says, didn't know Antoine checked out his channel. OMG, what are you most excited about with the new Netflix Avatar series
Oh
coming?
my goodness, Daniel Day Kim as Fire Lord Ozai. Like, come on now. Like,
Yes.
I think we all need to be Fire Nation now because he is their Fire Lord.
All right.
I mean, if you haven't seen Daniel Day Kim yet as Fire Lord Ozai, change that.
All right.
Daniel Day Kim just as an actor. I think he's
Yeah.
awesome.
We've got one for Callie. More audiobooks to come? Question.
Callie?
Oh, I don't know.
Sorry. Tell me again. More audiobooks. I hope so.
Callie, are you Treadbook?
It sounds so dour.
No, I'm self-published, completely self-published across the board. I did my last audiobook myself. I did the voiceover, but it's a lot of work. I think Antoine can tell you he's done that. It's a lot of work. Callie,
Yeah,
say yes.
it's very
Me in the
tedious.
comments. Who's just threatening me? I don't know who they are. I'm gonna. You probably are on my Instagram. They're probably on my Instagram. I'm gonna find out who they are. But anyway, we'll put them later. Yeah, it's a lot of work. And my thing was really short. It was only like an hour and a half or so, because it's supposed to be like a quick read. So yeah, but I love doing audiobooks, but they're a lot of work.
Yes.
If I could do voices, then I would have tried. But
Oh,
I have one voice.
Flub too much.
Oh, yes, a lot.
So much flubbing.
Yeah. One of my readers actually came back and said, I didn't even realize Callie did 22 voices. I was like, dear God.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I did not even count them. 22. It says it's really it's a lot.
I think Nia can attest. My Town Called Christmas, I did the voiceover for it, and the reason that nobody heard it was because I played it for them backstage, and I don't know what voice I lapsed into, but
we were
Nia, JC, Esther, like Laura, all of them were like, no.
I'm like, oh no, what happened there, Tiffany?
They were like, where did that come? No, don't do that.
We're like, love you, love the story, but no.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to combine two questions here. Just Eva asking, can we hear a few voices? And then Shannon also had a question about what's inspired your characters most from your reading habits. So maybe like pick a character that was like inspired from something and give us a voice or a line from that person's POV. I think that might vary both of those questions.
Let me
The
see.
two audiobook people, Antoine and Callie.
Yeah, I'm here.
But I'm an engineer. I am not a performer. Let's make that abundantly clear.
Oh boy. Yeah, I'm here looking for my book. I have one. Let me just pull it up and I'll see. Because I know for sure I loved voicing the garbage man in one of my books. Oh, who's this? Just Eve. I don't know this person either. So let me see. I have this garbage man from yeah, warn the comments for sure. I have this garbage man from my book. So I'll read him. So this guy is named Cephas. Cephas is fiscally irresponsible. He's kind of wild, but the main protagonist in the book, that's his best friend, right? So they're out collecting garbage. This is their job. They're out collecting garbage. And this girl that went to school with them, who has the hots for Cephas, comes out and he says to her, "That is Darlene, a girl with the hots for Cephas sent school. Every Tuesday, when we come out this side, she sasses through the alley in a flimsy nightgown, nipples printing out and staring at we like two arrows. I suspect that she squeezes them right before she walks through the door.
Ooh.
Same way she takes off her panties so we can see her ass cheeks clapping beneath the see-through polyester. I good darling, you going to the reunion next week?" She arches her back a little bit, just in case Cephas can't see her headlights on high beam, and calls, "Only if you carrying me." So that's two of my characters.
Wow.
Oh, I love that
Thank you.
voice.
What an excerpt.
Intent.
I love him. I really love him.
Which book is this one?
The Secrets of Casperado Village. So it was just a short anthology put together with all of some short stories that I won awards for. So I felt like it was really cool just to put together some stuff that, was already judge approved. I thought people might enjoy like a collection of them. So they're all centered in Barbados. They're all, thank you. They're all very Barbadiana themed.
Nice.
There's the link
I'll
for
write
it.
that one down.
To it. Yeah. I don't know if anyone can top that. That's gonna be hard. Another voice from
I'm
another.
sure they can. I'm sure they can.
Yes, that's a good one.
I can't top it, but I do have like my Peach Ridge series is set in Georgia, and I have a touch of a Southern confab.
Nice.
Okay, let's see. I bet you've been everywhere. That is real cool, and it's one of the reasons I decided to go away and send this letter. I want to know some part of me, something I touched, made it out of Peach Ridge. Sure, I drive a few towns over to go to the local college, but I'm always home for supper. Mama's rules. She has a lot of those. I'm sure you know how that feels, but she didn't used to have as many before. Well, that isn't important. Let's just say life has a way of changing things and people. That's one of my Aunt Judith's sayings. She might be one of the smartest women I know, and that's saying a lot.
I loved that. Which book is that you said?
So cute.
That is from my book, Dear You.
Do you?
It's free.
It is free if you sign up for my newsletter.
Say less. Say less.
All right. Let me drop that link in. Sorry, I'm trying to keep up with everybody. There we go. All right, so that's the link for Tiffany's newsletter sign up. Free book. Yay. Awesome. Well, we're over our hour and change, which is what I promised you would be able to go after I had you here. So I don't want to take up too much more time. We've made it through most of my questions and got some lovely audience questions. And is there anything you guys wanted to leave us with, like events coming up you wanted to let people know about, or projects to get out there in the ether?
Well, tomorrow my Orishas Among Mortals book comes out. That one is a companion anthology to my main series, TJ Young and the Orishas, but it's from the perspective of the Orishas. And in terms of events, I'm doing quite a bit this year because I had a successful Los Angeles Comic-Con in December. So I decided, all right, 2024 is going to be like the live event year. So I will be in, the biggest one I'm doing is the USC LA Times Festival of Books, which is in April. I think April 20th to 21st, but don't quote me. Just USC Festival of Books. I don't know the exact. It's mid-April sometime.
Birthday.
Oh, it's really? Oh,
yeah.
sick.
Yeah, 420. I may, yeah, we'll see. We'll see if I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
That would be cool.
Yeah. So I'm actually going to be part of the Black Girl Bookster Tour. So if people are here for lots of incredible books by Black authors, for sure, make sure you follow along for the Black Girl Bookster Tour all of February. So there's going to be something new every single day. So follow along for that.
Nice.
I will be debuting in March, but I will have 3 short stories. They are sweet closed door romance with a little bit of magic, small town. If you sign up for my newsletter, you will get those freebies, those free books, the free ebooks when they come out.
All righty. Drop your link in the chat.
I have a bunch of free goodies planned for Deidre Anderson's newsletter. And Sky Winter has Snapshot of Love, which is the book on the spreadsheet for the readathon, free if you subscribe to Sky's newsletter. And I am a cover designer, and I do have a Let's Get Smexy sale that's starting at 10 a.m. time Eastern time tomorrow running until February 14, and covers will be cheap. I'll just say cheap. The Hive covers that will be like 85% off the normal prices for romance covers and erotica covers because it's Valentine's Day. Unfortunately, the other genres won't be on sale, but if you're a romance author or thinking of writing romance, you can check that out and sign up to my newsletter for some good freebies. I can't tell you what the freebies are. You have to be on the newsletter to get them, but you'll want to be there if you like romance and love stuff. So, yeah.
Awesome. And Deidre, we have one more giveaway winner who is going to be your giveaway winner. So
nice. Did we give away mine?
Yes.
Oh, who am I giving it
to? To Dawn Lee.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yay.
Okay, so not end stream. There we go. Draw again. Last one.
So you can get any book you want from either Deidre Anderson or Sky Winter. Just let Margaret or me know.
Very
good. All right.
Lovely.
So you can get any free ebook you want from my catalog. Just let us know which one you want, and you'll get that one.
Nice.
Same to Dawn. Just let me know. You can message me. I'm TL Russ Lifestyle on everywhere.
Hey.
I do have a book releasing. Blame Game releases February 6th. It is the second book in my Jewel Agency series, which is more action adventure romance. And then my Desiree pen name, we do have a release coming in February as well. And I just launched my VIP readers on my Ko-fi page with a Valentine's Day freebie for people who sign up.
Yay! All the people.
I do have the third. I don't know if any of you guys have read my BDSM series, but the third book in that series is coming out on the 13th. I haven't announced it yet, so I cannot give you the title. But if you follow my social media, you'll see that title very soon.
All
this
right.
week maybe, but very soon.
So Shannon and I actually buddy read, I think, the first
I
and the
remember.
year. And if
I
you want to
remember.
any of the previous buddy reads or panel discussions for Black Authortuber readathons in years past, they're on a playlist. Imagine that.
Bear in
And
mind, they're very well, they're not extremely spiced. The first book is less than the rest of the series, but it
Okay.
is a BDSM book. So
Yeah.
bear that in mind when you go in. Please.
is all ready for it. So there's the playlist, and there's also the spreadsheet link again. If you want to participate as a reader, if you've heard some of the stories of the authors on the screen and they sounded really exciting, make sure to check out. We've got links, we've got channels, subscribe, buy a book, support an author. We're all about it. But yeah, that is, I think, the conclusion for today's festivities.
We made
I know
it.
here on the West Coast, it's not near midnight, but over on the East Coast or further east, it's almost February. So hopefully, we're excited to start the readathon and read some Black authors' books.
Mm-hmm.
So
Absolutely.
good. All right.
You can start early. Well, I was like, people can start early because then you can read.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
You can read more.
pretend it's February now.
Yes.
You can start reading.
It's February somewhere.
It's February in the UK, so yeah.
And in Australia.
In Australia,
Yeah.
Japan.
We're in the future.
And Deidre's and I's books are short. Like you can read
You can
read
read
them in
it
a day. I don't know.
I on the announcement stream featured 3 books that I was like definite reads for February readathon, but I've got 3 that are on deck. So they're next. They're all ready. So yeah, that's the spirit, everybody.
Morgan said I started a week ago.
There you go.
Ideal reader. There we go. Thank
Oh,
you.
and because we're still here, thank you, Kefi, for subscribing to my channel. I appreciate
Yes, thank you very much.
Yay.
No, Kathy is such a wonderful, beautiful person. Really, really, really.
Oh,
Yeah, I met her
Wonderful.
through Instagram. Yeah, another one of her friends put her onto my books, and such a warm, fantastic person. And she writes too. She does poetry. She does live readings and stuff. So really follow
Nice.
Kathy's page too. Let's prop up Kathy too, since it's all
right.
about authors. So let's follow Kathy as well.
Awesome.
Will do.
Put her in the spreadsheet. If she's got a book out, let's do it.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yes.
So thank you everyone for attending. The next things on the channel are the Friday morning productivity stream, and then we will be having our 2024 debuts for Black Authortuber Readathon on Monday the 4th. So stay tuned for that. If you want to put notifications on for it or anything, it's in the chat. And we appreciate you watching. Have a lovely, it's Wednesday, rest of the week, and good luck in February, everybody. Bye.
Same to you. Bye-bye. Bye.
Thanks, Margaret.